The development of sustainable food systems, a priority for Dominica. The Ministry of Health reveals findings of an obesity and overweight workshop in Dominica, and police outline the safety and traffic arrangements for next week's Krill in the Park event. Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm Tarnia Green.
And I'm Mervin Matthews. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after the break.
If you can believe this.
Come by my house and let me show you some movies.
Why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Welcome back, viewers. Time now for the details of the news. Issues such as the rising food import bill, high energy cost, the growing impact of climate change, and the global financial crisis continue to challenge Dominica's agriculture and food systems. That observation was made by Dominica's Agriculture Minister, Honorable Matthew Walter, as Dominica joined the rest of the world on October 16 in observing World Food Day 2013. The minister, in an address to mark the occasion, said his ministry remains concerned about the impact of these developments on the productivity of the agricultural sector, on food and input prices, and access to food for the population. The minister says, notwithstanding these concerns, however, his ministry continues to work steadfastly towards the enhancement of national food and nutrition security and the development of sustainable food systems. He highlighted a few examples of how this is being done.
This work is being undertaken on several fronts, some of which are noted as follows. Agricultural and food policy are important for national prosperity, especially in Dominica, where the livelihoods of so many depend on agriculture. Work is ongoing on the preparation of a national agricultural policy and a national food and nutrition security policy. The policy process has engaged a multi-stakeholder approach with full participation of civil society and private sector.
This year's World Food Day is being celebrated under the theme Sustainable Food Systems for Food Security and Nutrition. The minister said the government of Dominica remains committed to providing access to land, plant, and animal genetic resources for agriculture and services such as extension, propagation, and agricultural health and food safety systems to citizens. As part of local activities, the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, on Wednesday launched a backyard gardening enhancement project. This project will seek to improve the availability of nutritious foods currently lacking in the diets of residents. In addition, the Social Center organized a march through the streets of the capital to raise awareness of good nutrition for toddlers, preschoolers, and their families. The Youth Development Division also engaged youth of the 4-H Club in a poster competition based on this year's World Food Day theme.
In related news, although the official observation of World Food Day 2013 has ended, Health officials want the message of proper nutrition to resound long after October 16th. In conjunction with this year's theme, Sustainable Food Systems for Food Security and Nutrition, over half a dozen activities took place this week to emphasize the message. One of those was a radio talk show on Tuesday morning where the findings of an overweight and obesity workshop were revealed. GIS News spoke to Mervin, a nutritionist with the Ministry of Health. She began by summarizing those findings.
To give you an idea of the situation of obesity, in 2007-2008, a survey was conducted. The survey was looking at behavior modification, risk modification behaviors. And one of the areas that was looked at in the survey was obesity. And it was found that there was about 45% obesity in the population. And this 45% among men and women, it was higher among the women. And maybe we can draw some conclusion and say maybe because the men are more physically active, but we can't prove that totally. And then we also had a survey for school children around the same time, 2008-2009, and the levels of obesity among school children was 27%. And between the period of 2006 and 2011, through our clinic records, we were able to find that the levels of obesity among that group of children, 0 to 5, was also increasing.
The health official differentiated between overweight and obesity based on the body mass index measurement, or BMI.
If a person is overweight, it means that they have about 20% more body fat than they are really required to have. And then if a person is obese, they are within the range of 30, 35, on our BMI charts. And so we use the BMI charts to explain to people the range, where they stand, where overweight and obesity is concerned. So a person will be overweight before they become obese. And we would like, people who are overweight to start making, necessary changes in their lifestyle before they get to the obese levels where they are more at risk for all the other non-communicable diseases like cancers and diabetes and high blood pressure.
Those alarming statistics are caused by lack of sufficient physical activity and generally unhealthy diets. Teat acknowledged that unbalanced diets are characterized by unhealthy proportions of salts, fats, and sugars. Of particular concern is the content of children's meal. The Ministry of Health nutritionists sounded the appeal for parents to curb obesity in children by paying attention to snack choices.
We are really making an appeal to our parents to make better choices, read the snacks that we give to our children. For example, instead of buying, a bottled drink that contains more sugar and water than any vitamin C, parents should make their own juice at home. We just have to plan properly. A lot of time we say we don't have the time, but we just have to plan properly ahead of time. The question also arises of cost, that these things are easily available and they are cheaper. I have to buy $5 worth of grapefruit or passion fruit to make 2 bottles of juice, and people start to weigh those issues. But what we have to look at is what is it doing to us? What is it doing to our children? What is the long-term, effect? It's going to increase our health costs, And so we want people to be able to think that way, not just the cost, but also the value of what we are eating.
She wants parents to collaborate with the Ministry of Health to reduce obesity and overweight levels in schools. Tit discussed the ongoing development of a school health and nutrition policy to protect students' health.
School health and nutrition policy would guide the quality of the foods that we serve at our school, in our school feeding program. That policy would guide also the type of snacks that are sold at school by the school and also by vendors. The policy would also guide the training necessary for the people who are going to provide the foods. And even for the vendors, we have to reach a stage where we have to guide our vendors. We're not just telling them, oh, don't bring the soft drinks and don't bring the packet snacks. What do I bring? So we have a responsibility to show them, to teach them, to give them alternatives, to those unhealthy snacks that they bring to the schools.
With the culmination of World Food Day activities on Wednesday, the message to the public is to make small decisions for better health.
And Simeon Albert has been re-elected chairman of the Canefield Urban Council. Albert and 5 other councillors were sworn in during the council's 8th inaugural meeting at the Old Mill Cultural Centre on Tuesday. The meeting was attended by President of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Savren and Mrs. Savren, Acting Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, members of Cabinet and residents of Canefield. Albert said he remains focused on his mission to develop Canefield and noted that several projects have been implemented with assistance from the government of Dominica.
In River Estate, we were able, through the parliamentary representative, to rehabilitate all of the roads in the River Estate area, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Street. And as I speak to you now, there is ongoing work in the River Estate area to complete a section of the road which deals with one of the new development which has to do with Prince development. Recently, we had the construction of a major river defense wall in the housing scheme area. This cost well over $400,000 to $500,000. Again, thanks to the government of Dominica, because this wall is creating a significant amount of protection for the people in the River Estate area. We had again a serious concern with the folks in the Yanda area. Many of you may not have been to Yanda because it is a squatter area. But we have made several requests to the parliamentary representative, who I can tell you today has answered that call. And as a result of that, today a new road is being constructed in the Yanda area. And I passed today and saw that over 8 people were employed on this project.
He also gave details about a proposed beautification project in Canefield.
I want to announce today that the National Bank of Dominica has placed a proposal forward before the Canefield Urban Council that will involve the erection of the planting of over 500 plants, starting on the 19th of this month, in which I am inviting residents to participate in this project, which will be done from the bridge entering into Canefield, adjacent to Al Motors, to the end of the airport on the north, which is next to the Canefield Massac School. This is a project where a monthly allocation will be made to the Canefield Urban Council in order to create, if not 2 or 3 jobs, in order to ensure the sustenance of these plants that will be placed there as we embark on the beautification of the community. In that, I want to thank the National Bank in advance for this new venture, and I want to urge residents to participate and to be the guardians of these flowers.
Parliamentary representative for the Maho constituency, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, encouraged the newly sworn-in council to work with existing groups within Canefield. He made particular reference to the Improvement Committee in Canefield East.
They have been fixing the potholes. I just recently made available to them a swiper, a heavy-duty one. And they have made a request, Mr. Chairman, for the repair of the bus stop just at the intersection going to Canefield East. And I have responded to their request. The instruction is to make the money available to the Urban Council, and the Urban Council will facilitate them. We have to work together as a community, as a nation, and as a people.
The Canefield Urban Council was first inaugurated in 1992.
In more news, efforts are being made to improve roads in the Yampis community. GIS News accompanied parliamentary representative for the Rosal North constituency, Honorable Julius Timothy, on a visit to the project site on Monday. Honorable Timothy explained that several residents of the community are employed on that project.
It's going to be done by only Yampis workers. the contractors are from Yampies, and they on weekends are going to volunteer their labor. During the week, they will be paid for their work, and the weekends they are going to volunteer the labor, because they have to be proud of what they have done, and they have to understand it is theirs.
The Roseau North MP is pleased with the progress of work on the project.
They have just done a remarkable job. If you see, just on the weekend, between Saturday and Sunday, they have placed 3 sets of 3-foot culverts. I mean, it's just a remarkable amount of work in just that time. So we're going to continue with the project, and we hope that within another 3 weeks that this part here will be motorable.
One resident, Lisa Connor, spoke with GIS News about her impressions of the ongoing project.
Our road condition was very much in a disgrace, and thank God that the Labour Party has seen us and think of doing something great for our community. And as a community member, I'm very proud of the road. I want to give thanks and praise to Mr. Timothy and his team for the very good work that they have been doing in our area for the past week. And I want to say thanks to Caribbean Contractors Limited, who sponsored the equipment and the operator. And I want to say thanks to the truckers for assisting us, as well as the people of Yampi's community who has been involved in the road work.
And the acting Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, has voiced his disappointment in opposition calls for a boycott of the National Youth Rally. Dr. Daru made the call on Tuesday during his address at the 8th inaugural meeting of the Canefield Urban Council.
After all the hard work done by the hardworking parents and teachers of the country to instill discipline into our young ones, along comes a highly educated individual and tell those very same young ones that we are trying to instill discipline in that they should boycott the National Youth Rally. Magwisa, ladies and gentlemen, what mixed signals are we sending to the young people? What confusion are we trying to create in the minds of these young people?
And the support of the public is critical, the police say, to make the 11th annual Krill in the Park safe and successful. The public is being apprised of the traffic and security arrangements for next week's 4-day event in the Botanic Gardens. On Wednesday, Superintendent David Andrew revealed the security side of what he calls the force's robust approach to deviant behavior at the cultural event.
This year, the police will adopt a robust enforcement approach with zero tolerance to criminality and all breaches of the peace. We will conduct, among other things, foot patrol and mobile patrol. We will pay particular attention to parked motor vehicles to ensure that they are secured and they do not have important articles and items exposed. To this end, the public is hereby informed of the following security arrangements to cover the venue security, which is at the Botanical Gardens, and the traffic control in the Botanical Gardens and around its periphery. The venue security. Entry to the venue, that's the Botanical Gardens, will be allowed on presentation of a valid ticket or pass. Having presented the ticket, patrons will be screened, they will be searched in the person, their bags, their equipment and receptacles will also be searched.
Only after patrons are searched and cleared will entry bans be issued. Officer Andrew insisted that there will be no unauthorized vending, no smoking, and especially no firearms, whether licensed or unlicensed, on the grounds. A number of general safety tips were also issued ahead of time.
Homeowners who are leaving their homes to come to the Krill in the Park, they are asked to pay particular attention on departure from their home to secure it carefully. Inform a neighbor that you are leaving. Perhaps leave a light on and give information to the neighbor that you're not going to be there. So if you're leaving the light on, let them know that you're leaving the light on, or if you're not leaving the light on, let them know as well, so they can know and be able to distinguish the usual from the unusual. We're also advising motor vehicle owners who will be parking on the periphery of the venue to, when they're leaving the vehicle, ensure that it is properly secured. Most importantly, they are advised not to leave exposed any items, articles, or equipment that may attract would-be thieves.
The security measures include a no-nonsense approach to any items that could be used as weapons.
No cutlery will be accepted. Everything will be disposable, because these cutlery, like forks and spoons, they are quickly adapted into offensive weapon by their certain ends being sharpened to be a blade. No spanners will be allowed. All vehicles would be checked and be safe, so do not bring spanners to repair any vehicle inside the compound, in the venue. All clothes will be built. No tailors or seamstress would be allowed, so do not bring in scissors. All grapefruits will be peeled. All fruits will be already prepared, so do not come with knives. Yes, no matches, because we're no smoking zone. No lighters, because it's a no smoking zone. It's not going to be a school day or school activity in there, so we are advised, do not bring dividers or compasses in there. As you can see on the screen, dividers are there as well as compasses. They will not be allowed.
Nail files are also part of that list. On the traffic and vehicular safety side of things, police will operate a roving patrol to ensure the safety of parked vehicles all over the city throughout next week. In addition, Officer Patrickson Albert of the Traffic Department outlined this year's traffic arrangements.
Traffic coming from the Bath Estate, Emsall area won't be able to go straight down Bath Valley Road. So as such, they'll be required to turn right onto the Link Road or left towards the Emsall area. So there will be limited access to traffic only accessing Josephine Gabriel area. Now, traffic accessing Valley Road, from Valley Road, there will be no entry of Valley Road towards, on the east road, going east. No entry. So as such, we'll allow the pedestrian to move safely with no hindrance. Boyd's Avenue, as you know, that Boyd's Avenue, that small lane, that small avenue, what they call it, there will be no entry. No traffic will be allowed to enter this Boyd's Avenue. As such, there will be no parking in Boyd's Avenue. So, Windsor Lane, that's a little lane between the, at the top of Boyd's Avenue, below this public service building. We normally have the one Prosper loader bus stop. This bus stop will be temporarily moved towards Bath Road. So as such, there will be no parking and also no vending. As you know, vendors normally set up stalls there. They will not be allowed to vend on the small lane. The Mon Prosper loader bus stop will be moved temporarily to Bath Road area between the Convent Prep and Hara Agency. Virgin Lane, if you can look from the western end of Virgin Lane, from 6 p.m., no traffic will be allowed up Virgin Lane, going east. As such, we'll have the patrons be able to walk across, and then even more so, we'll be able to accommodate vehicles coming from Bath Road into Virgin Lane. So vehicles won't be allowed to go down Bath Road from Virgin Lane area. They'll be all required to turn left into Virgin Lane and then allow the pedestrian to walk safely. Or if you know that's Botanical Garden, there'll be limited access, only to allow people working in the gardens. And then from 12:30 each day, we know that people normally collect the children at the Botanical Gardens. And as such, we'd only allow limited access to these people from 12 to 2 each day. So there'll be no parking on Valley Road, no parking from Bath Road to the intersection of the Emsall Link Road. And there'll be a VIP entrance on the, so these people will be limited. They'll be able to enter the local access and access this northern gate, the upper northern gate, because there are two gates, one lower and upper. So going to the old pavilion building, there'll be a VIP entrance. Since we'll be diverting most of the traffic to the Link Road, so there'll be no parking on the Link Road.
Overall, authorities anticipate a smooth and safe Krill in the park.
And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson, St. Luce comes up next with the Krill highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moi c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, police Dominique a mis mise en place pour faire assurer King, il parle une pièce incident grave pour Krill in the Park l'année 2013. Parole celle-là qui a sorti en ASP David Andrew pendant conférence média police change there.
Police là, c'est eux qui premier pour conduire, pour faire seulement bagay marché à weg. Nous pas voulons crime développer. Là, nous avons autant de monde qui assemblé. Et Krill à Pâques là, c'est entre les autant de monde. Nous avons visiteurs, nous avons touristes, nous avons monde national même quand on est là. Autant de monde qui assemblé, autant de jeunes monde aussi. So, là, nous avons regardé la situation, nous avons pour mettre mise à place pour faire seulement que toute bagaille aller sans pièce désordre. Ça pièce crime fait. So ça nous qu'a fait comme police, nous mettez police travail là, nous qu'a garder moun qui ka entrer, moun qui ka entrer puis outils, moun qui ka entrer puis fusil, toutes ces bagailles ça nous qu'a pêcher ça entrer parce que depuis fusil entrer, depuis toute qualité outils quand entrer là, nous qu'a une crime. So, ça nous travail, mise nous mettre à place, c'est pour faire seulement qui ces bagailles ça pas pour nous ni crime.
En autre nouvelle, saison touriste qui est ouverte le 24 octobre et puis police qui a fait assurer King, saison ça là passe bon raison pour chi yo ka créer assez public là pour coopération ailleurs. Parole ça là sorti au ESP Innsbruck Irish.
Tourist season qui a commencé à jeudi 24 octobre. Et bien nous deux go ship à venir Dominique. You need Norwegian Sun, you need 2000 plus moon, et bien il y a un lot qui venir Aura, et bien un lot 2000 plus. So nous avons dit tout le monde pour cooperate avec ces stakeholders là. Traffic avec tourist, avec protection. Traffic, Mouché Albert, c'est nom qui chef traffic. Et bien il organise pour la police toute place. Pour faire que tout bite marche bien. Et bien, nous avons des gens, nous avons des touristes pour venir Dominique. Et nous travaillons bien. Independence qui vient, one mission, one Dominica, celebrating 25 années. Nous avons des gens, si nous avons fait place à des belles, tout le monde qui vient. Vous savez, nous voulons venir Dominique, nous voulons venir Dominique, mais si nous voulons faire bite qui mal, nous ne pouvons pas venir. So nous avons dit à nous manger comme nous bien. Et bien, welcome tourists là. Faire Dominique taper à bon nom. Et bien, moun qui viennent encore. Il y a 200 yon bâtiment qui viennent pour saison ça là. So, l'eau, moun qui taper travail, l'argent qui circule. Et bien, si nous manger comme nous bien, nous qui taper plus.
En la nouvelle, ministre énergie, Honorable Mervin Blackmore, qui a fait parole qui gouvernement Dominique a poussé bien wed et puis développement énergie géothermique. Selon Honorable Blackmore, assessment environ sans créer environment impact assessment pour fouiller et puis drill l'occasion énergie salam déjà pour place et puis il a actuellement commencé drill par finissement octobre l'année salam. Honorable Blackmore fait parole qui ont compagnie Iceland déjà en pays là pour bâtir projet là. Ministre Blackmore dit ça fait énergie géothermique qui fait électricité moins chère en Dominique. Le gouvernement Dominique déjà tapé 31 millions de dollars l'argent grant. Ça c'est l'argent nous pas pour payer et puis 6,5 millions d'euros hot français pour grand projet ça. Finalement, division environ 80 Riverdales qui a offert service manger pendant saison salam. À une manière, ils vendent manger qui bien préparé, bon standard. Parole celle-là sorti de officier division là, M. Sylvestre Saint-Ville.
Nous sommes capables de éducation pour ces food handlers là, pour ces gens là qui vendent manger, qui préparer manger. Nous sommes capables de montrer, dire ça, si vous pas fait bon practice ça fait mon malade. So ça qui bon practice, comment vous pour vendre manger, comment vous pour chebe, comment vous préparer pour pas faire mon malade. So in addition pour ba mon public information, nous qui ba organizers information, nous qui ba vendors information pour ensure nous pas ni mon malade dans ça là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Une bonne saison indépendante. Au revoir.
Coming up, your tip of the day. Stay with us.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans, and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Research says eating a big meal just before sleeping, especially a fatty one, means your digestive organs will have to work very hard while you're asleep.
At night before bed, try to keep your body system from working too hard. Everything should be winding down from the day's activity, including your digestive system. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments, so drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin.
And I'm Tarnia. Thank you so much for watching.